work, ruin, and death. In the chapter Temptation and the Desire of Ages, Ellen White speaks about Christ's temptation in the wilderness, and she refers to it as being the clamors of his physical nature. She refers to it as being the clamors of his sinful physical nature. But when that physical nature is in control of the higher nature, that's what creates a carnal mind. We saw that from Paul twice, and now we're seeing it from the spirit of prophecy. The body is to be brought into subjection. The higher powers of the being are to rule. The passions are to be controlled by the will, which is itself to be under the control of God. The kingly power of reason, sanctified by divine grace, is to bear sway in our lives. So let's read this again. The body, which is what I have illustrated here, is to be brought into subjection. The higher of powers of the being are to rule. The passions are to be controlled by the will.
Amen.
Which is itself to be under the control of God. The kingly power of reason, sanctified by divine grace, is to bear sway in our lives. So friends, let me ask you this. Was there ever a time that Christ was not under the control of God? Was Christ ever disconnected with God? Okay, so that means that...
Yeah.
No, he wasn't. Okay? At the cross, all right. Yeah, that's true, all right? But what I'm talking about is that as far as his life is concerned, and his nature is concerned, that didn't have anything to do with his nature. It had to do with the imputation of sin, okay? But Christ was always connected with the Father. Ellen White says it, the Bible makes it clear, and it's the only consistent teaching. To say that Christ was disconnected from the Father, to say that he had a selfish, carnal mind that was enmity against God, it is not biblical, and if it's not checked, it's heresy. So that's my conclusion.